Good morning, Crunchy Mafia. In case you didn't know, I am a food service director for the jail. Been a chef for quite a long time, and just kind of sharing a little bit of my crazy world with everybody. Good morning, Piper. Good morning. Current temperature is 46 degrees, and it's 7:16. And we're heading for coffee because I need to be caffeinated. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning. So, just I didn't sleep very well last night. Doesn't help matters that I've got this cat that demands attention constantly. And, yes, I'm trying to be safe out here. Hopefully, I don't have to dodge any wildlife. Right about here is no, yeah, right here is where I hit a deer at 4 o'clock in the morning. Just jumped out of nowhere. It's like, surprise! I'm gonna F your world up, ruin your day. Yeah, I get to work. And I just, hi, mean girl. And I just wanted to I was pissed off. You know, brand new car, and got bits of deer poo all over the car, and had tufts of hair sticking out of what was left of the grill, and about an hour or so, I'm like an hour late for work, and I finally get in, and about an hour after that, it's like my boss walks in. I just bagged an elk. I'm like, oh, congratulations, I got one. I got a deer this morning. Really? You went hunting before work? I said, no, not unless you call hitting it with RAV4 hunting. Oh, did you kill it? I'm like, no, it was just laying there on the side of the road with a broken neck, and I don't take my gun to work, so I couldn't just get out of the car and dispatch it myself. So, oh, where was it? And I told him. He's like, okay, I'm going to drive by later on and see if it's still there, and I'm going to salvage it. I'm like, okay, whatever. Thanks for your concern. I'm fine, by the way. I got my elk in the back of the truck. I go, why you got it in the back of your truck? Oh, I'm gonna take it and get it processed. Can I bring some liver? I'm like, you don't want to bring in elk liver from an unapproved source into the kitchen? Yeah. I'm like, you do realize that that's not a good idea. Food that's being served to the public should be from an approved source. Oh, well, it's just for me and my son, because we always have liver and onions after having a. I'm like, okay, so what part of approved source do you not understand? And he's like, oh, just do it. I'm like, fine, whatever. You know, thanks for your concern about me hitting a deer. I'm fine, by the way. Just looks at me, moseys off. Later on, he brings us liver, and it's like, I don't know if you've ever seen an elk liver before in your life, but that thing is freaking huge, man. It's freaking huge. And I'm like, you want to feed two people with it? Well, no, I'm gonna bring everybody over from the fitness club, and we're all gonna have that for lunch. I'm like, okay, all right. That's still a lot of liver. I mean, really? You might as well bring another 10 people with you. Make it worthwhile. So I'm cooking up this liver and onions with liver. He goes, well, you can take some home. I said, well, guess what? I got mason jars, little mini mason jars in the trunk of my car. How about if I make you some pate? Pate? Really? I said, yeah, yeah. I've got sherry in the dry storage, and I can make you up a pate. And so I made them up like, and I didn't really fully didn't really fully dawn on me just how much. I mean, it was like, what the hell, man? I'd hate to see what a freaking liver from an elephant looks like. It's like, my God, it's like never-ending sea of elk liver. It's like I fed like 12 people, dining room, this you know freaking elk liver, and then it was like, it was almost 18 jars, 18 full mini jars. Okay, these are like, jars that I use to make my mini cheesecakes in. So it's like, single serving size of cheesecake in a jar, right? And so it's like 4 ounces of pate per jar. If you Crying out loud, people are dumb. Um, so I'm like, what the fuck am I do with all this? What am I gonna do with all this? It's like, he took all the jars home. I go, okay, so here's the deal: is that just whatever you're not gonna eat, just whatever you think you're not going to eat, just put it in the freezer. Oh, it freezes, okay? I said, well, yeah, but once when you go to thaw it out, do I heat it up? I said, no, don't heat it up. It's supposed to be chilled. Top it with this, this. You need to make me a list. I'm like, so it's like, I was in elk liver hell that day. I mean, I like liver. I love pate. I love wild game pate. That's why I suggested making it. But my God, it's like, I've fed about a dozen people off this frickin' elk liver and had enough to make almost 2 dozen jars, little mini jars of of pate. And I give them a grocery list of, all the things that you top it with and all the things that you could do with it. And I told them, if you get a tenderloin, make a crepe, make a duck salad. It's like, what's that? Like, mushroom. Take some of this pate, spread it out on the crepe. It's like, ooh, crepes. I'm like, no. And then get the tenderloin of your elk and, heat up a cast iron pan, get it nice and seared off, and then let it you know let it basically get a nice Maillard reaction on it. Of course, I had to explain what Maillard reaction is because stupid me, I can't just say just brown the goddamn thing, have it sound fancy. Um, Wrap it up in the crepe, and then get a puff pastry. You can actually buy it at the store and wrap it up and make yourself an elk Wellington. That sounds too hard. It's not really hard, but then again, I'm a chef, so it's like whatever. It is whatever. Up in my neck of the woods, it's like there's foraging for wild mushrooms is just so freaking amazing. And because we had a lot of wildfires in the last few years, we have some great burn areas, and morels, they love burn areas. They love to crop up in, old burn areas, depending on the types of trees out there. But anyway, so you have to be careful because there are such things as false morels. Um, so anyway, I decided, you know what, I better just shut the hell up before it starts bringing me all these ingredients and like, can you make me some Wellingtons? It's like, God, like I don't have anything else better to do with my day, because it's like it's hard. It was hard to say no to this person because he's rather persistent, and really kind of obnoxious, and you know. But anyhow, so that was that. It's like the never-ending sea of freaking elk liver. It just kept. It was the gift that just kept on giving, and it. At that point, you're like, just give me a freaking fruitcake, a holiday fruitcake. That's a gift. This is not a gift. This is a freaking curse, man. I love liver, but I don't I don't love it. I like it, but I have to be in the mood for it. But it's like when you're dealing with wild game liver, it's like it has a certain smell to it, and if you get it on you, and when it's raw, it's like all you freaking smell all day long. It's very, very high in iron, and it's like got this gamey smell to it. So it's like I'm like, oh my god, somebody just dump a pitcher of stale beer on me or something just to get rid of the stink. God, I wish, I was like, maybe I should just go out, grab my gym bag, and just throw on my gym clothes and work in my gym clothes all day. It took me about 6 washings just to get the stink out of my chef jacket, and it was, oh god. I did take a jar home. I had to. I had to take a jar home. Got myself some capers and some shallot, and went and got myself a baguette. You know, had a grand old time with that. And Timmy's like looking at me like, "What the hell are you feeding me?" I said, "It's pate." Didn't tell him it was that pate is made from liver. He goes, "Where did you get it?" I said, "I made it." What? I'm like, "I made it." Well, when did you have the time to go and get this? Where did you get this from? So I told him where I got it from, and it's like, oh, well, that was a bit insensitive. Just after hitting a deer, I'm like, yeah, 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 it is what it is. So I was like, well, I want to see what your car looks like. I go, it's dark outside. I'll be able to see much of anything. It's like, it's leaving the house in darkness, and that's how I didn't see the deer. It wasn't because it was dark out. It was because the oncoming car had their high beams on, and instead of having it set for auto, they just left it on, and it's like I did not see the deer standing in the middle of the road. They missed it, but I didn't because I couldn't see it because I was being blinded by these infernal freaking high beams, and the new high beams that they have out now. It's like you can practically burn somebody's retinas with them. Especially when there's no light pollution. What the hell are you doing, dude? It's a red light. Really? Jesus Christ, people are so impatient. All right, coffee time. It's coffee time, girls. Found out what happened to my debit card. All right, funny. But, oh, oh, there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What? Yesterday?
I want to go back to my caramel macchiato. Yep. My regular. Yes, please. Good morning, sunshine. All right. Guy's probably pretty pissed off at me. He was unloading his thing. There we go. Sure, we could do that today. I was broke. What's that? We got new tumblers, coffee cups, and they're so freaking cute. Are they? But that means I have to spend my money. Oh my gosh. Do they come in a different color? That's that one. Darn it. Oh. How much are they? How much are they? I gotta find out how much this coffee tumbler costs. 2 seconds. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. You got another car up. I'll find out on Friday. All right. Thank you. Take care. I want that tumbler, but I don't like the color. It's huge. It's freaking huge. It would hold my whole coffee. It probably won't fit in my cup holder anyway. So, hi Mason. Good morning. How's the how's your merch store coming along? Doing okay? Got it all figured out? All right. You be back, Teresa. I'll see you in a little bit. Anyway, so yeah, sea of and so today's just one of those wacky WTF Wednesdays. Viewer choice questions. Make them as crazy as you want. See how perverted we can make it. Well, within reason. PG-13. Or at least PG rated. PG rated. PG-13 might be a little too much. So, craziest date I'd ever been on. So, didn't really want to go on a date with this one guy, but he was bugging the hell out of me. He was actually kind of cute. Actually really, really kind of cute, like really, really kind of hot, but wasn't really ready to go on a date. I got set up on this date, so I was kind of protesting a little bit. So I kind of dressed a little on the slutty side. He comes to pick me up, and he's like, "Oh my God!" He's wearing a purple corset and a tuxedo tailcoat and a leather mini skirt. Um, I have to buy my shoes at stripper stores because they at least have like my size, because a lot of drag queens buy their shoes at the stripper stores, so they carry women's FME pumps uh, up to size 15 in men's. So it's like, and I wear a women's size 13, which comes out to about men's 10 and a half to 11. I got really big feet. I hate it. I can't just go out and buy cute shoes. So here I am. I'm wearing this really slutty outfit, and I didn't know where he was taking me. I had my hair all done up, had makeup on, and purple corset, tuxedo tailcoat, leather mini skirt, 5-inch stilettos, not just 5-inch stilettos, but 5-inch platform stilettos. So by the time all was said and done, I was over 6 feet tall, and it was kind of funny because it was kind of a blind date, right? And he was actually my height if I were barefoot. And here he is. He's standing in my doorway, coming to pick me up. He's like looking at me, and and it's like, okay. So back then I was like normal size. I was probably underweight. I think I was like 120 something odd pounds. Okay, severely underweight for my body style. So that was the height of my eating disorder as an adult, as somebody that was approaching her 40s. Um, and so it takes me to this really casual uh, restaurant, pizza and pasta restaurant. It was casual. They had wine, they had beer, they had cocktails. Uh, I ordered something and I just let it sit there and I would pick at it and was pretending to eat it and, took a couple bites and, you know, but it's like I just unleashed the over the topness. I unleashed my muchness, and my muchness can sometimes be pretty bad. Um, Funny but bad, and I just really didn't want to be there. And so uh, the date ended. He had to come inside. I said, no, I'm sorry. I'm really tired. I have to be up early to go to work in the morning. Actually lied because it's like I wasn't working at the time. Um, and he just kept staring at me and was like, didn't he'd start asking me these questions, and then he'd just stop. He's like, wow, just wow. I've got a picture of this outfit that I wore. I'll have to dig it off of one of my hard drives. I think it was I think it was the purple corset. It could have been the blue one. It was one of the other. It was one or the other. So I had this little lace top over the top of that, and the tailcoat. Um, so he just couldn't form a sentence, and it was really kind of funny because just being very, very obnoxious and very, very over the top. And um, he never called me back, so it's like for a second date. So thank goodness for that. Um, think he was expecting. I think he was expecting something other than just dropping me off. It's like, nope, I don't do that on a first date. And I left my leftovers in his car. Really had no desire to. So my friend's like, so how was the date? What did you think of him? I said, yeah. What do you want me to say? It's like, where did you meet this guy? And it's like, he's part of my motorcycle club, or he's in my motorcycle club. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, what does he do for work? Oh, he's an investment banker. And I'm like, okay, so you set me up with an investment banker. I'm really surprised that you actually know an investment banker. Well, what do you mean by that? I said, well, what do you do for work? I'm a bartender. I'm like, okay. So how do you become friends with an investment banker? The guy was like really boring, and maybe you should go and ask him what he thought of our first date. How do we start with that? Oh, okay. So about a week later, I guess apparently they were going to a poker run or something like that, and with this investment banker dude. Um, and I got this phone call at about midnight, and they're like, "My God, what is wrong with you?" I said, "What? What? I I just got back from our poker run, and I asked. Okay, so I'm just gonna give him a name. Bob. Call him Bob. Asked Bob how the first date was, and and he he was like, "Where do you meet these people? What are you talking about?" Well, she was weird. She was really strange. It's like 30-year-old nymphomaniac with like anger management issues or something, and she was very aggressive and weird, and just kept bringing up her cat, and and is she a crazy cat? And and my friend's like, what the hell's wrong with you? I said, I really didn't want to go out on a date. I mean, and they're like, well, what the hell did you say? What could you have possibly said about George, my cat at the time, that would make this guy think that you're a crazy cat lady? And because you only have two cats, that's that's not enough to be a crazy cat lady. And so I told him. I told him this. Well, I told him that I like to sit up late at night, and I'm thinking about becoming a writer, and I write these short stories, and I take photographs of my cats dressed up in medieval costumes. And my friend's like, "Do we need to have an intervention with you or something?" And I'm like, "Why?" I thought it was funny. Well, now my friend doesn't want to talk to me anymore. I said, "Well, I'm sorry. He thinks that that he thinks you're a lunatic." I'm like, "That okay? Do I Am I the type of person that really gives a rat's fart hole about what somebody thinks of me?" Well, no. I said, okay. Am I a lunatic? Well, yes. All right. So what's the problem here? You and I are friends, right? We're great friends, right? Well, yeah. I mean, okay. So I could already tell in like 2 minutes that I was not going to get along with this guy. We were not going to, we were not going to, date and do the whole courtship thing and then get married and live happily ever after. He doesn't have any children. I've got 2 kids. Um, he was talking about wanting a large family. I'm in my late 30s. I don't want to have any more kids. I'm all about the zero population growth. My my children's biological father has one, and I've got one. Zero population growth. That's 2 children. You know, I'm not going to be punching out a bunch of children. And then, and they're like, but he's such a nice guy. I said, yes, okay, granted, he is a nice guy, but well, what's the but, Civi? I'm like, the but is that the guy had no sense of humor. Oh yeah, he has a motorcycle. Yeah, he's got a motorcycle. I said, yeah, so do I. But it only makes him an edgy weekend warrior type that, he probably trailers his bike uh, almost all the way to Sturgis. Parks at a campground, you know, trailers it to a campground 50 miles away from Sturgis just so that he could say that he rode the Sturgis. You know, come on. Well, yeah. I said, okay. And, you know, and he's religious. Like, okay, I don't understand. I said, do I look like the type that would go to a church on Sunday? Do I look like I would be one person that would go to church, that looks forward to going to church on on Sunday? Well, I don't know. I said, come on, you've known me long enough to know that if I step foot in a church, I'm going to spontaneously combust. Well, okay. Yeah, you got a point there. I said, okay, so now that now that we've gotten all this out, where do you think there's going to be any kind of compatibility between me and this guy? Well, he's really smart. I go, all right, so did you ever stop to think that maybe sometimes I like to actually date people that are, you know, not so smart? And they're like, well, I don't understand. And I'm like, exactly. Sometimes I don't like to be switched on all the time during, day-to-day activities. I want to just, you know, have my mindless moments where, I can just be spontaneous. And, I lived the life of a nerdy intellectual and had to reinvent myself a little bit because it's like the the nerdy intellectual wasn't working for me. And it was like, you know, and I just, and so, and he goes, good God, and did you really ask him how big his junk was? I go, yeah, I did. Why? Well, that's for me to know, for me to know. And, and it's like, it's It's important because it's like I don't want to, well, okay, so I don't understand, and I'm like, there's nothing for you to understand, man. Just roll with it. Just roll with it, okay? And so this turned into like a 2 hour discussion about why I didn't think I was compatible with this guy, and it was like, you know, yes, I sounded like a lunatic. That could be a crazy cat lady, but with only two cats. At the time, it was just George and Kiwi, and um, yeah, I dressed my cats up in period attire, and they were characters in my in my short stories. And they're like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" I thought about it. Only you would think of doing something like that. I mean, it's bad enough that you got this goofy ass advice column that's written from the perspective of your cat, which is true. I used to. I thought about getting back into it because it was pretty funny. The answers are pretty freaking hilarious, and I can actually write pretty cool stuff. So yes, the friends sounded super judgy, which is hilarious as hell because it's like they'd known me for like 10 years at that point, and they should have known better that there's times when I just don't want to be around other nerdy intellectuals. I like to be around nerdy intellectuals in spurts. I don't like to be, having to engage in intellectual conversation 24/7. It's like I like I like to be spontaneous. I like to, you know. So the overall takeaway was that I I purposely bombed a first date with a guy that drove a really nice sports car. Actually looked pretty nice. It's well put together. Everything was in place. Nothing was out of place, and he was going to be boring. I mean, the guy almost looked almost mortified when he saw what I was wearing and all the stares that he was getting and that I was getting. It was at this restaurant. I'm like, I just don't care. I just don't care. Don't care. I don't care what people think. I don't care. And what was this that you were talking about? And he told me about this outfit that you were wearing. I said, yeah, and you've seen me in that outfit before. Yes, but this is a first date. I'm like, what? Okay, so let me ask you this question: what do you actually wear on a first date? What is considered first date clothes? Yeah. Oh, couldn't you have worn a nice pair of jeans and like a hoodie or something? And I'm like, dude. So that was my worst first date. Sure, the guy was super nice and everything, but I just, for you tell, to maybe have some fun, but not the kind of fun that maybe he was thinking. Uh, I'll have to share the picture on Discord. I have to find it first. I think it's on my one of my hard drives. So but it it made for an interesting memory. Something that my friend will never forget because leading up to that point, it was like, you should go on this date with this friend of mine. Yada yada. Yada. I don't want to go on a date. I'm not interested in dating anybody right now. Oh, but it, you know, oh, cool, Mason. That's so cool. Can't wait. Can't wait. Oh my God, why me? And getting oh, you gotta check out the pictures. Look at look at look at the cool stuff that we got to do. You know. All right. No, I don't want to go on a date. Don't want to go on a date. Just want to focus on being single for a while. Yeah. It was like, okay, but he's really cool. I'm like, all right. So what makes him really cool? Well, I don't know. He's got a motorcycle. I'm like, okay, so he's got a motorcycle. Just because he has a motorcycle doesn't mean that he's cool. I mean, he could be cool, but can he deal with my muchness? Why can't you just tone it down a little bit? I'm like, so you want me to be somebody that I'm not? You want me to tone down for the comfort of another person? That's like being told years earlier, you need to dumb yourself down a little bit, and not sound so stuck up and so smart. You don't have to be smart with us. We're simple people. Just dumb yourself down a little bit when you talk, because nobody likes to be around you because they think that you're better than everybody. That was really kind of hurtful. You know, you're always using these big words. Not everybody can follow along. Oh, I'm sorry. It's pretty hurtful. That's when that was about the time that I thought, well, maybe I'll just reinvent myself a little bit. And I tried dumbing myself down a little bit so that, I, oops, I thought to myself, oh, I guess people think I'm stuck up. I wasn't stuck up. It's just smart. And it was just really kind of funny because it's like the person that actually said that to me would constantly call me asking me for computer advice. You're the smartest person I know. What's wrong with my computer? And turns around and says, you need to dumb yourself down a little bit because we're not following along with the way your mind works. So you want me to be smart. You want me to be the smartest person you know when it benefits you. So I'm kind of stuck in that headspace a little bit still. You know, you know, just years and years and years and years ago. I was young. I was dumb. I was in my late 20s. Everybody kind of reinvents himself a little bit, over time. Usually it's in the form of a midlife crisis where you go out and buy the Corvette. You know, mom jeans. What is up with all the traffic around here? My goodness. It's just crazy. So, kind of cloudy today. It's supposed to rain. Current weather at 8:03 a.m. is 54 degrees. So we've gone up in temp by about 10 degrees. It feels overcast. I feel a headache coming on. Ever since I had brain surgery, it's like I get these headaches just before the rains come. So I feel like sometimes just a walking barometer. Run, Forrest, run. Um. So anyway, I never did dress my cats up in period attire. By the way, never did. Kind of reminds me of the guys that I get periodically that send me messages on Facebook. They're always widowed. They're living abroad. They're either an engineer or a surgeon doctor. And when I ask them the question, so aren't all surgeons doctors? So it seems redundant that you would say surgeon doctor. Well, what do you mean? It's redundant, man. Why do you need to get to know me? Toy with those words. I'll string them along for weeks upon weeks upon weeks. And they think they're getting to know me, but I know better. They're a scammy thing, and because they always ask me, "What's your WhatsApp number?" It's like, "What's WhatsApp?" "Oh, you've got to install it." I said, "No, no, I don't want to install it." "Oh, but you need to install it." I go, "Why do I need to install it?" "So we could talk." I'm like, "You're talking to me here." All right. So now we're back to this again, where every time I pass by a car lot, uh, I lose connection. So these guys always, always a surgeon, doctor, or surgeon on a peacekeeping mission in some third world country that's war torn, right? Or they're an engineer of some sort, and they're from California or Texas, and they're supposed to be these highly educated individuals. However, when you read their sentence structures, it's like it's obvious that English is not their first language. Okay, but they got this picture of them, dump it into Google to find out, do the Google image search to see who the picture actually belongs to. Because when you look at their name, they always have a first and last name that could be both, or their last name could be a first name, like uh, Thomas John. It's like, what kind of last name is that? Of course, maybe they're one of those that likes to put their last name first, so they put it that way. But it's always something like that. And their sentence structure just reeks of, I don't really speak English. Um, but I speak enough English to be able to think that, I'm going to hit on you and we're going to have this beautiful romance. And then all of a sudden I'm going to start asking you for money and blah, blah, blah. And no, you're not going to ask me for money because, no, I, one, I'm not stupid. So that's why I play with them for a while. I'll make up these really, really, really weird stories. One of them was that I was grieving the loss of my dead turtle, Timmy. And when I was screen capping the messages so that, and posting them. But if they were truly if I really did accept their friend request, they would be seeing this whole exchange go on. But it was set to friends only. So it's like, posting all these up and uh, where from? It's like, where from? What kind of sentence is that? What kind of question is that? You're a doctor and you're speaking like that. Okay, so I'm I'm from Lahaina. Oh, what country is that? Hawaii? Because I never give out my real location. Well, what country is that? I'm like, dude, you say you're from Arizona or California or Texas. It's usually one of those. Um, and you don't know where Hawaii is, and you're a surgeon doctor. What is wrong with this? That makes no sense. Or the time when I told somebody that I just got out of prison, and I'm living in a van in my parents' backyard, and I have to take a bath in the bird bath, and they won't let me in the house, so I have to pee in the bushes. Um, I just let my imagination go wild. Make up these really funny stories. My dead turtle Timmy buried next to my hamster Gunter or something. I think it was a hamster. Um, and how I used to love dressing him up in tuxedos, and I we're having a memorial service and burial, and I'm burying him in his favorite top hat. How he loves that. And I'm crying right now because, oh my God, my beloved turtle is dead. Oh my God, it just hurts my feelings. I'm just so distraught, and it's like, oh, don't cry, dear, don't cry. Oh, now you're making me cry. I'm like, really? Sitting on my porch, drinking my coffee, typing this all out, wasting his time because he's wasting my time. So we're wasting each other's time. But at least I'm getting some pretty good comedy release out of it. Yeah. So, women of the world, if you ever get one of those catfishes, just toy around with them for a while. Just mess with their heads. It's a lot of fun. And then screen cap it. But they're always widowed. They always have a child that's, 13 or 12. and they're always in a special boarding school. They've sent them off to a boarding school because they can't have their child with them because, you know, they're on a peacekeeping mission. They don't want their child being in the middle of a war. So like, um, yeah, it's always a dead giveaway. It's like they use these little terms of endearment, dear and darling, and so on and so forth. And they overuse it. It's like there's one right now. It's like, what are you doing at this very second? And I just let it go. I just wasn't in the mood for it. But whenever they ask me what I'm doing, I'm brushing my teeth and taking a shit at the same time. Brushing my teeth while I'm on the toilet. What are you doing? So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun messing with them. But of course, I'm not going to give them any money. So who all's here? Messages hold for review. Oh, when it's held for review, that's kind of funny. So anyhow, oh my god, why am I so itchy? I got maintenance guys that are parked next to me. I don't want them to look at me weird. They already look at me weird enough. So hello. Well, that's the thing is that I put a lot of lotion on. So I've got eczema, so it's like I end up with these really super dry patches, and the next thing I know, it's like everything's bleeding. Yeah. So found this found this really cool website. It's called Ducks in the Window. But this one's one that my friend oops my friend gave me. Oh God. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. Not gonna put on surfer shoes and walk in a jail. They already think I'm weird because I walk in very cheerful and give them a good morning, everybody, sort of thing. It's like just like we've been here for 10 hours. Why are you so hyper? You know, because I am. I'm just a hyper person. Which reminds me, my doctor was like, "Have you ever been tested for ADHD?" I go, "Nope." "Do you want to be tested for ADHD?" I said, No, not really. Life is working out for me, so. Okay, cool deal, Mason. I need a new coffee mug. I need another coffee mug. I have a Shark Fam coffee mug because Derek won't get coffee mugs because I don't drink coffee. It's like, come on, dude. Just because you don't doesn't mean that we don't want coffee mugs. I mean, you can put other things in coffee mugs like pens, um, tea, hot chocolate. Oh no, neighbor's puppy was on the street. Hopefully the puppy didn't get hit. Please, if it did get hit, I don't want to hear about it because I don't want it to ruin my day. Please don't tell me about it. I just hope that it didn't get hit because it's Wednesday, hump day. So today's my Cisco delivery day. Macy order's not huge. It's only 35 cases. Not a big deal. Have a good day, Teresa. So, Canada geese. Uh, honk, honk. They just flew overhead. Those things are just aggressive birds. University of Washington actually has a problem with them. Uh, for a while there, they were actually poisoning them because there's so many of them. They were being aggressive toward people that were um, along walking through campus and stuff, and they just create a whole big mess, pooping on everything. But anyway, folks, it is that time. So I hope you like the story about the worst first date. Um, Judgmental friend. Yes, I still talk to this friend, but you know, maybe you need a little bit of Jesus in your life. No, I don't. I'm fine, thanks. We're just worried about you. Don't be worried about me. I'm not worried about me. It's all good. Well, please at least tell me you ate something. Uh, I think it was their way of trying to do an intervention without actually doing an intervention. Passion. Love y'all. Bye.